Hello, everyone. I'm so excited today to have the opportunity to interview some of our young artists that participated in this year's Spring Art Gala. So every year during this time, during the month of May, we are proud and so very excited to share young artists' artwork with the entire community. So we advertise it in our spring flyer, we reach out to the schools, and we encourage young artists of all ages to submit up to 5 pieces. Some of those young artists are joining us here today, but just to give you a little bit of a background, we had about over 80 pieces submitted this year. This is the first time that we get to hold it again in person. Due to COVID, we still had it, but it was in a different format. You may remember seeing some artwork online last year as we created a website in place of the in-person event. This year, even though we didn't do a one-time big gala fancy evening event, as this program initially started, we did decide to just display it all month long. And in a way, this is working out even better because people get to enjoy the artist's artwork for that much longer. So joining me now is the youngest artist that I'll interview today. Her name is Miss Annabelle Harvey. Annabelle, tell everyone how old you are.
6.
6 years old. And the piece behind you that I think is perfect for springtime, like the perfect submission for our spring art gala. It's entitled Cherry Blossoms, and it's a beautiful painting on canvas. It's pretty impressive for a 6-year-old, I have to say. Did anybody help you? Did you sit down and do this on your own?
My aunt helped
Your
me.
aunt helped you. Wonderful. Can you tell everybody how you made those little cherry blossoms, the dots? But actually the whole thing is done in dots, even the blue sky background. How did you get those? Is that with a paintbrush?
No.
Was it a Q-tip?
Yeah.
Oh, you used a Q-tip. I love how you can paint with just almost anything. I know Miss Sarah here at the library has even held a class for kids where they painted with food, right? Like take a potato and use a potato and make
I
a...
painted with a potato and a carrot.
Have you done that? A carrot too?
At school.
Apples, right?
At school.
There's so many things that you could paint with. The possibilities are endless. But you used a Q-tip, and that really makes sense to me to get those little dots. Well, I absolutely love the cherry blossom painting. Thank you so much for submitting it. I have another quick question for you. Is this your first time on TV? Is this your debut? Or are you already a star?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, you're doing a great job, and I'm so glad you're joining me here today on BPTV. You do have a special guest standing right next to you. I mean, he too is a special guest. Even though he didn't submit artwork this year, he has promised that he will next year. Tell us who this little guy is.
Ethan.
Ethan. Is he your friend? Is he your
my brother.
uncle?
He's my brother.
He's your brother. How old's your brother?
7.
7. You guys are close in age. And you have another baby sister. What's her name?
Emma.
Emma. That's right. And you guys have been longtime library patrons. You are library regulars, as we call it. And I just love seeing you. I really missed you during COVID. We are glad you are back and enjoying the library. Do you have a favorite part of the library? I was going to ask you 2 questions. Favorite part of the art gala, why you love participating, but then also your favorite part of the library overall. Let's do art gala first. What's your favorite part of participating in the art gala?
I just like painting.
You just like painting, simple enough. And we love that you are sharing it with everybody who comes into the library gets to see your beautiful artwork. And there have been a lot of people visiting for that reason in particular, just to see all this beautiful artwork. So thank you for sharing. Now, what's your favorite part of the library overall? Why do you come? You guys were coming like every week. Why do you love the library so much?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. There's got to be a reason why. You're a strong reader. You check out books every time you're here. So definitely for the books, I would venture to say. But what else? What else do you love about Bethel Park Public Library?
I like getting books.
You like getting the books. Yes, you guys are avid readers for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Annabelle. Thank you for submitting your beautiful Cherry Blossoms artwork. And I hope to see you again very soon. Okay, so I am now here with our second young artist that I have the pleasure of interviewing today, Miss Katie Bronson. And Katie, I'm going to ask you to start off much the same way. Just tell them, I already told them your name, Katie Bronson, but tell everybody your age and what school you attend.
I am 10 years old, and I go to Bethel Park Elementary School.
Okay. And right away, this piece behind us entitled Raining stood out to me when we were gathering the artwork and we were hanging it up. And I was like, wow, what an interesting piece. And I see that sketch, right? It's just done with pencil.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the piece and why you entitled it Raining.
I I entitled it Raining because that day it was kind of gray outside and the playground was still a little bit wet. And
Excellent.
I've also had some inspiration from a photo that I saw later.
Okay, I was curious. I was wondering about that. Well, you did a very nice job. About
Thank
how
you.
long did it take you to sketch that piece and to get it just the way that you wanted?
About 20 minutes?
Oh, that's not long at all. I'm very impressed. So have you been doing art for a while? Do you have a favorite type of art? Is it something that you just do as a hobby, or is this something that, I know you're young yet, but is this something that you see yourself pursuing in maybe as a career?
Well, I started art about when I was 2 or 3 with coloring, and then I started drawing. And I also really like the style of sketch a lot.
I do as well. And that's what I love about this art gala is all the different types of artwork that is submitted, right? We see painting, we see sketches such as yours. We see things that are made with crayons. We see some sculptures sometimes, right? Where people build something out of clay. Just so many different types of pieces. And that's one of the things that I think makes this art gala so very special. So you're saying that you enjoy this type the most. Well, how many other sketches do you have at home? Do you have a collection? I'm curious as to whether or not you have like a sketchbook, like an artist book that you work out of, or do you just kind of take random sheets of paper?
I have
both.
lots of sketchbooks, and I keep all my drawings like in a little box.
Excellent. I
So,
think that's a wonderful
yes.
idea because you don't want to
Lose them.
you don't ever want to lose those. Yeah.
No.
I have sketches from my son who was into drawing at a young age, and I feel kind of sad that he kind of dropped it as a hobby because he was very talented as well. But that's something that I hold near and dear to my heart are those sketchbooks. So good for you for hanging on to those. Now you have a second piece that you submitted to the art gallery this year.
Yeah.
But tell us about that piece, what it is called, and why you decided to create it.
Stella. I think.
Stella, that's
Yeah.
right. And
I made it because I really wanted to test my challenges with inking because around this time I was having trouble with markers and pens, so I wanted to
Oh.
challenge myself.
so it was a little bit of experiment of
Yes.
sort, and look how lovely it turned out. That's wonderful. And I think that's important to note, too, that art, just like any other field or any other hobby, takes a lot of experimentation,
Yes.
doesn't it? But I feel like also in art there is no mess-ups.
No,
Everything
not at all.
can be a beautiful oops, if you will.
Yeah.
There's a book entitled that, Beautiful Oops, right? So even when a piece doesn't turn out just the way you had hoped, you can still create it into something new, or to somebody else's eye, it's still this beautiful piece. Maybe it doesn't look exactly how you intended, right?
Yes.
But to somebody else, it's going to look fabulous. So I think that's really important to note as well. So good for you. I hope you keep on experimenting and
Yes.
playing around with art and trying new forms. And I hope you too will join us again next year here at I think it'll be our 8th annual gala.
Yes.
Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. Joining me now is Miss Sylvia Friedberg. Sylvia is 10 and attends Memorial Elementary, again, right here in Bethel Park. And Sylvia, I love everything about this piece that we're standing in front of. You entitled it Ribbit, kind of self-explanatory because it's an adorable frog. Tell me why you chose to paint this frog and just anything else about the piece that you would like to share with the audience.
I kind of made this frog because I kind of sketched it in class, at math class.
Oh. You had free
And-
time, right? It wasn't like you weren't paying
Yeah.
attention to math. Yeah,
Yeah.
your work was all done, and then you had
Yeah.
some free time, of course.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
was kind of sketching it. I was like, oh yeah, I could do this for the art gala.
Yes, I love it. And shout out to Mrs. Johnson over there at Memorial. I know she was kind of hyping this
Yeah.
up for us. Is she the one who let you know about it, or did your art teacher? How did you hear about the art gala?
Our library teacher.
Mrs. Johnson, right?
yeah, Miss
Great.
Johnson.
Yeah. She's so much fun to work with. So, yeah, we're glad you heard about it. We're glad you decided to submit something. I love that he's catching the fly.
Yeah.
I love the color background. What made you choose that? It's almost like a lilac to me. I love shades of purple. What made you choose that as the background color?
I asked my brother what color I should do, and
Oh.
he picked purple.
How old's your brother?
He's 13.
Nice. Does he enjoy doing art as well?
Not really.
Not so much?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Well, you also submitted a second piece to this year's art gala. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
That one, I kind of didn't really know what to expect. It was an eye, like a big eye. I don't know why.
Oh, this one, right. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. This one too really stands out. So you don't really know why? You just started sketching
Yeah.
an eye?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I never knew, I never painted an eye on canvas. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, I'll try that. Let's see
What
how
do you
it goes.
what do you find you're painting the most of? Animals, people, scenery,
usually-
like the outdoors?
Scenery and animals, I'd say. So.
Okay. So you two were kind of challenging yourself by experimenting with something new.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I love that piece. It really does stand out. I'm not just saying that. The title of the piece is I've Got My Eye on You,
Yeah.
right? Again, perfectly entitled. Let me ask you this. Is this your first time visiting the library since you submitted the artwork? Or have you seen everything set up and have you had a chance to browse other people's artwork?
Yeah, whenever I got here.
Wonderful. I wanted to ask you what your favorite part about the art gala is. Like for me, it's going around just to look at all the beautiful artwork, and I love filling the compliment cards out. Right, for those of you who at home who don't know, not only do we display these young artists' beautiful artwork, but we encourage patrons or anybody else who visits to then go ahead and fill out compliment cards for any piece that really stands out to them or any piece that really just catches their eye. Right, and then we collect all these compliment cards and we make sure the artist receives them with their return artwork. And to me, that's just like such a special piece of it. And I didn't know if you, as a fellow artist, had a chance yet to go around and to compliment
I didn't know you can compliment on the thing.
Well, now you do. So before you leave the library today, you'll have to make sure to do that for sure. Yeah. But again, we have about over 80 pieces submitted. We are so glad that 2 of them happen to be yours. And we hope you will definitely participate again next year. Do you think you will?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Well, keep on creating, and thank you so much for being here.
Yep, thank you.
Take care. All right, so we're here now with one of our young artists, Miss Hazel McGregor. And Hazel, why don't you just tell our audience, start off by just saying your age and your grade and what school you attend.
Hi, I'm Hazel McGregor. I'm 11 years old and I'm in 5th grade. I go to Neil Armstrong Middle School.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you have a favorite subject over at Neil?
I love math with my teacher, Mr. Wargo, and I do love reading with my teacher, Mrs. Sella.
Good answer. Reading was always my favorite, but math is, of course, so important too. No, I was curious if you're taking art over there.
So
Do they offer that as a class at Neil Armstrong? I believe they do.
I did the art club, which sadly ended, and in my second 9 weeks I did art, but then I can't do it again because
They want you to try something else.
Yeah, so it's
Sure.
my 4 9 weeks.
Okay, but you did take art. And the art
Yes.
teacher over there, I forget who that
Mrs.
is.
Tiska Myers.
Okay. And has she inspired you at all in your artwork? I'm just curious how you began your love of art. You have 2 pieces that you submitted to this year's gala, both of which are very beautiful. And I was just curious as to where your inspiration came from.
Well, for this piece, I kind of did it off of my favorite, my favorite teacher of all time, Miss Sable at William Penn.
Aw, shout out to Miss Sable.
And I was doing this while I was with her, and I was just thinking of ideas, and then Evil Unicorn came to my mind. So I was in her classroom whenever I was thinking of the idea. So
I love it. Very good. And I can see that this is done on canvas. This is a painting done on canvas.
yes.
Is this typically your favorite type of artwork to do? Painting, I mean? Or have you experimented with other forms of art as well?
Well, since I discovered the world of crayons, I've always been an artist. So I would come home from my daycare with huge stacks of colors. So I would
love
do
it.
crayons and drawings. But I feel like painting is more of my thing.
Okay.
And I go to an art studio every week at Splat.
Oh, right down the road here
Yep,
from the
right down
library.
the road.
Wonderful. And so that's where you created this unicorn piece, was at
Yeah.
Splat
Yes.
for Mrs. Sable, or who's the one who kind of,
Yeah, I was just in her class, and then I was just
and that's
thinking.
where it started.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about the other piece that you submitted to this year's gala. I believe it's called Midnight, and it's
Yes.
right behind us. That beautiful, it's another canvas painting.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that piece.
Well, that piece actually is I did at a art camp whenever I was 8 years old. So
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yes. And we had to she gave us this, and she told us what to do, and how to paint the. This was also at Splat.
Okay.
They told us how to paint the trees and stuff, and then with the toothbrush with the stars, we got to take a toothbrush, dip it in the paint, and then
Oh, Oh, I was wondering how you made the stars. So you used a toothbrush. Wonderful.
Also, about Miss Sable, I actually paint cats with coffee, like in
Ooh.
it. And Miss Sable, I designed both of her cats with drinking coffee, and one of my friends.
Oh,
And
the model for your painting was one of her cats, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
And I gave them to her, and then it was also my friend's cat that I painted, but instead they wanted Gatorade.
Gatorade instead of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee drinker either, so I can see that. Well, it sounds like you're very generous with your artwork too. Do you often enjoy creating pieces and giving them away as gifts?
I love to give away like art as gifts. Like I've given it for birthday presents, just surprises.
Yes, I love that. I always feel like homemade gifts are the best kind of gifts.
'Cause
So
I don't need 100 like pieces of art. So like
right, you'd have a gallery. You'd run out of space in your room. I was wondering though, if you have Midnight, was that hanging up prior
Yeah.
to you bringing it into the library?
yeah, these two were
In your room or?
my room. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. A box of crayons really does just open a world of possibilities, doesn't it? A world of imagination. So I love it. So you said when you came home from daycare, so you started at a very young age then.
Yeah, whenever they gave me crayons, I just started scribbling. I might have drawn on some walls, but we don't know.
Hey, that's okay, right? That's where it all began.
And also-
It's creativity.
In my bathroom, we were redoing the walls, and I have a photo. I was coloring on the walls with crayons because my mom said I could because...
Oh, what she said, did you get in trouble? Okay.
No, I didn't get in trouble.
Crayons are washable, right?
Yes.
And you were redoing the bathroom.
They were redoing the walls, so we got to color underneath, and if we take the tiles off, they're probably still there.
I love that story. Thank you so much for sharing, Hazel. Thank you
You're
for sharing
welcome.
your beautiful artwork. I do indeed hope you will participate next year. Again, this art gala is an ongoing tradition, so we hope to see you again next year. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here with yet another one of our young artists. I'm so excited to introduce to you Zeke Logan. And Zeke, you kind of, before we were on air, started telling me all about the piece. So I'm actually just going to let you do all the talking. Can you tell us the meaning behind Flying Alien Pumpkin Man, where you made it, how you got the idea, and just some details about the piece itself? Go for it.
I made it at school because it was for an art project in class, and we had to make like a 3-layer art project with secondary colors, and whenever we had to glue it together, I saw an upside down face, so I fixed everything, and I saw a pumpkin in it. Then
This is just
then-
awesome, right? Because art can mean something to somebody else, right? It's all like within our imagination. So like where I would have seen maybe a flying spaceship, you saw a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Right? Or where I would have seen an apple, you saw a pumpkin. I think that's just one of the great things about art. And I love that you saw that in there. So go ahead. You kind of saw the alien and you kind of went with that. And then what?
So we had to draw a picture of it in our art sketchbooks, and whenever I drew a picture of it, I saw an alien because, as you can see on the picture, there's like little balls like all around it. So I drew little fingers on it to make it like the hands, and I thought of an alien and it like hovering. So that's why I called it the Flying Alien Pumpkin Man, because at first I saw a pumpkin, then I saw an alien and I realized I was hovering too.
Makes sense. Talk a little bit more about these sketchbooks. So in your art class, and what school do you go to again?
I go to Memorial Elementary.
Memorial. So in your art class, every student has a sketchbook?
Yeah, we got them like in the middle of the year.
Oh, I love this idea. Now, I wonder, do you get to keep that sketchbook at the end of the year, or does that stay in the school?
We get to keep it, I think.
I betcha.
But we can't do like.
And that could be
free art.
inspiration for future art.
Yeah.
Huh. Very good.
I was gonna bring it, but I was in kind of a rush.
Oh, we understand. Maybe
'cause,
next time, bring it in. We would love to see it.
Because I had to take my sister to work also. So
Stuff happens. I hear ya. Where does your sister work?
She works at KFC.
Oh, nice. Oh, do you get free KFC sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes.
What's your favorite menu item at KFC? This is totally off topic, but now I'm really curious.
I don't.
My son loves KFC, but the only thing I like there is their coleslaw. What do you think?
I can't really choose.
Too many good things, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to ask you is what is making the 3 layers? Can you tell us what kind of paper this is or what you used?
we used like a thick sheet of paper, and we had to choose which one we wanted which colors on. So
Okay.
we all started on orange. Then the
Okay.
next week we went to green, I think it was, but I was absent those 2 days.
Oh, okay.
But I was able to finish it.
That's
And
another
then-
good point. So this was made over a period of time, right? You
Yeah.
didn't just sit down and make this in one sitting. This took some time. It was a process. Very good. And then you talked about secondary colors. Tell me about that. Did you have to mix colors then?
We had to like mix them. It was like hard because we got these like little cups, and we had these like other little things with like watercolor arts,
Okay.
and then we had to like use our brush to like brush the color
Oh,
off.
sounds
into
kind of
there,
tedious, so
like
it took some
the-
time.
like the liquid, and then we had to like dry off our brush so that we don't get the wrong color. And
Right. We got
mix
to be
it up,
careful
and
with
then-
that.
And then we had to keep on doing it whenever we ran out.
Yeah. So it's probably just time consuming.
Yeah.
Not so much hard,
Mm.
but just like tedious and time consuming. Because it sounds like you figured it out. You
Yeah.
did it.
You had to like get like, it's hard because you have to get like the right shade.
Mm.
'Cause
No, that makes sense.
sometimes-
Right,
Because
right.
sometimes like you can mess up because whenever like colors that aren't supposed to be mixed right,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't make like a secondary
Mm-hmm.
or like the right color, it could turn to brown and you would
True.
have to restart.
True. That totally makes sense, Zeke. Thank you. So I think experimentation is a big part of art,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes like trial and error until you get it just right.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I think the best art also comes from like beautiful oops, right? Oops, I made a mistake. But look, this looks fantastic too.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't always have to be exactly how you first envisioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Zeke. I hope you continue making art for a long, long time because I really love your piece and I just enjoyed so much everybody's work here in the Art Gala. But I hope you continue to create and hopefully you'll participate in this Art Gala again next year. Do you think you will?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Probably.
Great. Thanks so much for being here. All right, and joining us now is Sam Shetler, a 6-year-old artist who has submitted 2 pieces to this year's Art Gala. Do you want to tell us the name of those pieces, Sam?
This is a self-portrait of me.
A self-portrait, and your other one
Is a Minecraft creeper in a thing of TNT that's gonna explode.
oh my goodness.
Because a player that you can't see on the paper that is there.
Interesting. I was going to ask what the inspiration was. I kind of already knew it was Minecraft. That's quite a popular game. How long have you been into Minecraft, would you say?
I've only got the stone tools in that game. I haven't even got the iron yet.
Well, you have some time. That's awesome, though. And I love that you did artwork representative of Minecraft, something that reminds you of the game.
I only keep going on the world I make if I manage to find a bed or a village to get a bed.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Work. I have never crafted one.
Yes. So you're only 6 years old, which means you're in kindergarten, correct? Can you tell everybody what school you attend?
I go to Ben Franklin Elementary School.
Ben Franklin Elementary. Wonderful. And summer is upon us, so you are a rising first grader. Are you excited?
I'm almost done with kindergarten.
I know.
I
You're
have,
almost
like-
a kindergarten graduate.
I have like 7 days or something.
The countdown is on. Yes, that sounds about right. What is something that you're looking most forward to doing this summer?
Playing another game, Roblox, which is my favorite game a lot.
Okay, so you're a
Trying so
Minecraft
much
fan
stuff.
and a Roblox fan.
I'm the most game I am a fan of is Roblox.
So maybe your
There's a
next
bunch
piece of
fun
artwork
games.
will involve Roblox. Do you think? Maybe?
I guess.
Possibly. We would love for you to participate again next year, Sam. And we look forward, like I said, to your future pieces. Thank you so much. Happy end of the school year and have a great summer. Okay, so now I get to introduce one of our youngest artists that we've had participate in the Art Gala this year. Joining me now is Miss Brooke Lynn Setnorowski. And Brooke, can you tell everyone how old you are?
4.
4 years old. And when did you first start creating art? Do you remember when you first started to really enjoy sitting down and doing artwork? How old were you? Not sure.
But I think I was 1.
You were 1. That's young, but I believe it, right? And ever since then, you were just inspired to be this artist because already you've submitted 2 pieces. We have Brooke in the Rainbow. What is that second picture of?
A bunny and a rainbow.
So you must love doing rainbows. Let's talk first about. I know. Let's first talk about Brooke in the Rainbow. What inspired you to make that piece? What gave you the idea to make Brooke in the Rainbow?
It's because I just
Make sure you're talking.
self.
Because you like yourself. That's a great answer. And then you must love rainbows too. So then you put yourself in the rainbow. Bright and shining. That's just a perfect picture. Tell me, do you have a favorite color in the rainbow?
Purple, blue, and red.
Oh, mine's yellow. Purple, blue, and red. Lovely. Okay, well now let's talk about your second piece, the bunny with a tree. Tell me what gave you the idea for that one.
No, it's not the bunny and the tree. It's a bunny and the rainbow.
Oh, it's a bunny in the rainbow. That's right. What made you want to draw a bunny?
Because I was going to make it for the Easter bunny, but then I realized I wanted to make it for the library.
Oh, that's great. Well, maybe next year you can make one to leave for the Easter bunny, right? Or you're going to get this piece back, so you could always leave it for him next year. Oh my goodness, we are even more honored that you decided to submit it to the art gala and save it for the Easter bunny. That's great. I have a lot of bunnies that visit my backyard. Do you ever see bunnies hopping around your house? No, I have a lot of bunnies that come into my backyard. You're kind of making me want to try to sketch one. I'm going to try to draw a bunny. I asked you before we were on air your favorite type of artwork, right? Whether you like to color with crayons or paint. And you said that you actually enjoy working best with pencil. So you do a lot of sketching? So besides bunnies and rainbows, is there anything else that you like to draw or that you feel like you're specifically talented in drawing? What can you draw well? Talk into the microphone. What do you think? What is another thing that you draw really well?
A leopard.
You can do a leopard? No way. So maybe that's the piece that you can submit next year to the 2023 Art Gala. What do you think? Great. Well, Brooke, is this your first time on TV? Oh, because you're a natural. You're like fantastic. Give everybody a little wave. Wave bye because we're going to be out here shortly. I want to thank you so much for coming in to be interviewed, and thank you so much for participating in this year's Art Gala. Yes, Brooke?
I'm also going to be 5 soon.
Oh, she's going to be 5 soon. So we should wish you a happy early birthday. When is it? When is your birthday? Is it coming up really soon?
It's after we go to the beach.
Ooh. Maybe you can celebrate while you're at the beach. I'm jealous. All right. Well, happy early birthday to you. Thank you again so much. And thank you, everybody. Again, don't forget to stop in and make sure you see all this beautiful artwork before we take it down here at the end of the month.